Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 29th of October. So today then we've got quite a bit lined up here. We've seen the Australian inflation come in well ahead of expectation here, pushing the Aussie up quite strongly. Aside of that then, coming up for the rest of this today at 1:45 UK time here, GMT, we've got the Bank of Canada a monetary report. It's expected a 0.25% cut there, and then we've got just check I'm not missing anything in between. Nope. We'll have the press conference there at 2:30. Just be wary of that, so the Canadian data isn't all over when the numbers come out. And then at 6 p.m. then tonight, instead of the usual 7 but 6 because the hour differentials, we've got the Fed funds rate, so it's at it's expected to be coming in a 0.25% lower, so we'll see what happens there. Okay, on other news, it looks like Nvidia's leading the charge of great numbers coming out, etc., and pushing up strongly, so will be interesting to watch the equity markets in a moment. So let's get on and look at the currencies though first, as ever, and we'll start off, if I can find the mouse back, there we go. It doesn't help when you put your mouse on the lead, it doesn't work then. Let's start off looking then. So yesterday did end up on a positive today. Today already looking a bit gloomy here, and it's gone quite ugly. The 4 hourly sums it all up quite nicely here. I mean, it's range bound, it's done top bottom basically at the moment. What's it going to do here? We're going to see a bounce or what? It's got a minor bounce happening on the hourlies here, but it's yeah, quite ugly what we're seeing at this stage. Yesterday, well, it looked like it might have continued off of the pivot there and bounced and ran back up again. Well, it did eventually, but after breaking the lows there, quite a mess though overall on the euro. The pound, and I really don't want to be trading it as it sits there. The pound continues to weaken. I was quite surprised by how much so, really. Probably so a lot of other people here, but it continues to be selling off here. It had already done quite a big chunk yesterday. I didn't think there was too much more in it, but well, there was. Recovered slightly. I mean, even 8 o'clock it just tanked there, continued tanking, and has continued tanking this morning. So the pound really looking soft here. The problem when it's done this is it's used up a lot of its sort of daily move. Yes, yesterday it used up a lot of move, and then well, moved again, but we'll see how it drives forward. But it's not a pretty looking market for now, at least. But this is running now. It's running that flag out effectively. I was looking at originally at the flag that was sort of sitting there, and well, it seems to be running another wave down effectively. But already gone too far for me from an intraday basis. US dollar yen, please. That's it. So the double top still playing out. Yesterday continued to play out a little bit further, but again it had a long stalling period before it dropped a bit more, but recovered almost straight away through the Asian session there. But yesterday just never continued, and this is always my concern, is when you have such a big sell-off there in the mornings, 4, 5, 6, 7, it just there isn't anything more to give at that stage. Well, yes, it did there, but it just stops us out if we had taken it, and it's in a bit of a no man's land at the moment. But maybe a continuation this morning on to the downside here might give us a bit more, and might eventually break. You see all the lows over on the left hand side of the chart here. There's support coming from that. Let's come back to the 4 hourly. These previous lows here effectively we're coming back to. We'll see how this shapes up this morning, but still has scope for continuation, but not so straightforward Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, well, the strength with the inflation data coming through, it just continued to push through. Missed all of this, of course, because it's happened. Solid movement there, with the data coming out first earlier on there at midnight, and then, well, it's continuing to push up. It has meant that some of the currencies, cross pairs like the Aussie, the pound Aussie, the euro Aussie, have moved an absolute, particularly the pound Aussie, with a double whammy, a weakening and strengthening, has moved significantly, but unfortunately not in my trading period, because I do sleep. US dollar CAD there yesterday strengthened at 2 o'clock. Did we have data at 2 o'clock yesterday? Have I missed something here? Anyway, for sure it's now I've got checking what happened yesterday at 2. Didn't have anything there. Right, okay. I don't know what's driven that, but anyway, it's continuing this strengthening move on the bigger time frames here. From a swing point of view, looking for swings, well, this is something that's now, it's sort of got out of its original trend there. Structurally it's changed. You see it a lot clearer on the 4-hourly here with the lower highs. Okay, we'd already seen one last week, but it's really gone through now, and looking like we're seeing a bit of a change of structure here. Or we have already seen a change of structure. US dollar Swissy. Come on, Swissy, show up. Just continue to go chopping. It's not really tradable for me, what it's doing here. It's quite ugly. As I said, cross pairs likes this, the Australian pound, for example, or pound Australia. Get it the right way around, look. But you could have had this, he says. Once it goes, there we go. That was the continuation we've seen through the night there. But can't do anything with these. They're done for now. It's waiting for the retracements, but it's just gone and gone. Now, I was looking at this a week or two ago, a few weeks ago, and it started moving, but then completely went the opposite way. But there we go. Last few days it's been, after that correction, certainly moving down, but as I say, it's just waiting for the retracements there. Right, in other currencies and things, gold, it's up a dollar to up a percent today, but did continue to sell yesterday. It's not majorly convincing from where it is. However, it has put a higher low in here. It's taken the shorting idea off the board for now. Gold's now picking back. May just be seen as value I mean, it's dropped quite considerably there over the last week or so, 5, 6, 7 days. So it can be, could be picking up again, as I say, as a value buy, seen as a value buy. Crude continued coming off yesterday, but again, well, actually quite low. Whoops, just clicked the wrong button. Let's go back there. This could be quite nice if it breaks through later. Quite like the fact the price action here could be okay for a short. Yesterday was a bit choppy and didn't really go too far. It all went at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. It had all done. Now we're just really waiting for the breakdown of this. Continuation there possible. So the equity markets, S&Ps. So let's go to dailies first there. So yesterday popped in and new all-time high yet again, and well, it's hard to see these not happening nearly every day at the moment, the way things are running here, pushing up, and yesterday it was a bit dull there, but once the news started coming out, it all picked up again. Well, Just waiting for the retracements, possibly. It becomes quite difficult. Techs are up this morning. The Nasdaq, well, that's just gone. Again, yesterday it was quite slow, started picking up, and well, it's picking up already. FTSE, it's already happened. So much of the data's already happened here. FTSE, well, that's from a daily perspective, continue to make new highs here as well. Seeing alternative flow double topping at the moment. Would need to break the low between the two highs to get me even thinking about doing anything else on that. But for now, it's just too strong. If you're coming in and getting in on any of these retracements or breakouts, well done. DAX, this has been the weakest by far, but see on the daily now, it's just a mess. You get small movements. Yesterday it dropped down to its S1 quite quickly. It's already hit the S1 today. It's looking a bit soft at the moment. It's at 1 minute past 8 and it's already dropped quite considerably there. Could continue in its correction. Yesterday afternoon there it sort of tried going the other way, but it's the one that's getting all the negative moves on it for majority of time. As I say, today it doesn't look so attractive. Yesterday the breakdown straight down towards the S1 at 8 o'clock was good, but we'll see what develops today. But overall, unfortunately, because of the sort of large moves we've seen through the Asian session, there doesn't seem to be a great deal. Could catch some of these continuations in the likes of the Aussie. He says to the downside, it's already hit the S1, but might drift onwards. My concern again though is it did what it did yesterday, where it just drifted along sideways for a while. Did start looking like it was going to sort of 10 o'clock came in and it looked like it was going to run off there, but it's not. At the moment it's looking a bit on the softer side, but as I say, the big risk here is we just consolidate, particularly with the FOMC coming up later today. Right, I shall leave you there. Wish you a good day's trading and I will catch you in the morning. Bye for now.